And welcome to the final strike here in Arlington, Texas. I am your host, Arline, here with One Goob here. We got Isurus Gaming versus, I believe it is the Texas All-Stars here for the first place grand final. You ready?
Yeah, we saw two really dominant best of threes from both of these teams over One Goob and Hippo Squadron, respectively. So these teams are definitely a little bit above the competition that we saw in the third place match, and they're two very good teams. They're also very familiar with how they play. They played in one of the qualifiers against each other, where Isurus came out on top.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we saw from One Goob earlier. I mean, just the dominant play from Rampage and even Duran later on. Just kind of rolling rolling a little bit on Hippo Squadron, but we're here for Isurus Gaming versus Texas All-Stars. This is going to be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested to see how both of these teams interact, especially the dynamic between Noxie and Link. Noxie has been having a really good event. Like, he's been dropping 30 on every map I've seen him play. He's just a fantastic player, and obviously, as a team that's in Pro League, they have a lot. They have a lot of expectations of them, and even with those expectations, like the time they face Complexity, they actually managed to overcome them and beat Complexity despite the odds.
No, yeah, absolutely. Now, what I do want to highlight actually is the win rate from Isurus Gaming on Dust 2 and Overpass specifically have been very, very high. The Texas All-Stars, however, I mean, we've seen them play Inferno at a really high level, especially for kind of a ragtag group of guys. And Nuke, surprisingly, as well. I think that these two maps right here should be should give them the highest chance of even taking a map.
Yeah, the maps, it looks like they've picked two of the maps, and Isurus ended up picking Dust 2. No surprise there, a very high win rate, and just like you predicted, Texas All-Stars went for Inferno. They actually played Inferno, and the Texas All-Stars gave them a little bit of a scare. They had a commanding lead in the beginning, but in the end, Isurus barely clawed out ahead. And I don't think that's something that that you should expect to happen all the time. I think Texas All-Stars are definitely a very good team on Inferno, and they could probably learn from their mistakes and maybe take the map off of Isurus.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, fundamentally, these guys are actually really, really high level. We've seen a lot of good utility usage from Texas All-Stars. I mean, they will sit there and break down every single aspect of your play and adapt to it. Whereas on Isurus Gaming, they do have obviously great fundamentals, but the really interesting thing about how they play is they will play so unpredictably that I don't know if Texas All-Stars is going to be able to adapt to this unpredictability.
Well, you talk about unpredictability, right? But I actually think Isurus Gaming is going to be more at risk for something unpredictable because Texas All-Stars, they know that the pressure's on them, so it's kind of their responsibility to bring something new to the table, I feel.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how these guys play out this grand final. You were talking about how they know that everything's on the line here. I don't know if I guess we'll see if they're able to step up to the plate and show us that they won't crack under pressure.
All right. Yeah. Well, just a little bit of a rundown. For Isurus Gaming, they are a pro league team in South America. Their roster consists of Noxie, Reversive, Max, 1962, and Myron. On the other side, it's the Texas All-Stars. Their roster includes Link, Punkville, Rizzy, Sinister, and Poison.
Yep. I mean, you guys obviously know Isurus Gaming from their ESO Pro League.
Oh, looks like this looks like a live pistol right now, and Link is already up cat. Oh, this is so aggressive. I love it.
Speaking of aggressive, we see all 5 players over towards the long position while, I mean, we've got 1 player sitting on the A bomb site, 2 players on cat. Could they be able to hold this? I mean, pistol shots raining down Sinister will fall back to the bomb side. That's going to be Noxy picking up the first frag on the Link. Poison trading out Myron. That's going to be a 4v3. Punkville pushing through. Will be taken out, but Poison does pick off 1962. It's going to be a 2v3. Bomb should go down here pretty soon.
Yeah, actually, Poison getting those 2 frags there, that's actually kind of surprising. I feel like there was a little lapse in judgment due to the fact that there was a CT that pushed ramp to cause a lot of noise, but Poison's still going for some more. He's still alive, but Reversive finally takes him out, and it's all up to Rizzy in a 1v3, and Messi, who is Noxy, he takes him out. So great round by Isurus. A lot of utility usage that round. We saw 2 CTs actually buy a kit that round, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the whole pistol round was extremely interesting. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, Dust 2 for Isurus Gaming is a very, very high win rate map for them. So it looks like Texas did do their research in stacking towards that A-bomb site, but it looks like the pistols from the T side were just too much for them to handle.
And CT's, of course, going to go for a save. I think Dust 2 is just very hard to force buy on this map, especially when you've got 4 AKs on the T side. So, smart decision, but overall, the T's have the right read, and they're going to move over towards the B bomb site where they already have control.
For sure. I mean, you're talking about the full save. Other than Rizzy, you're totally correct, but you see Rizzy actually bought, I believe he had the utility on the pistol round. That brought him down to just $1,300 after the deagle. He won't be able to full buy this next round. He won't be able to pick up an M4 and some armor, so it's going to be a bit of a shambled buy going into round 3. This should be 2-0 in favor of Isurus.
What I expect to see from Rizzy is next round he'll buy like an SMG, play something like Cat, and it'll be like an aggressive crossfire setup. I think that would be a good play. But right now, the CTs are just trying not to give as much money. There's only one Mac 10, so let's hope that he doesn't, for the sake of Texas All-Stars, that he doesn't get too many kills. He already gets 1.
Yeah, that's 1 going down, and make it a second. Noxy picks up another one with the AK. Rizzy does find 1 for the CTs, but it's not going to be a whole lot as the bomb will explode. 4 AKs saved as well on the T side. That's going to be actually pretty big going into these later rounds. That money will stack up.
So that kill by Rizzy was actually very huge. It basically allows him to buy an M4 and a flashbang alongside just a vest. So I think the deagle, it didn't necessarily pay for itself, but it was alright. And off the bat, we already have Myron taken down to 7 HP. Just a really fast round coming from them, and long, and a great trade by Reversive. But Linkazoid, he's still here, and he's going ham. Great 2K by him, and now it's a 4v2. Make that a 4v1 as
Sinister will possibly pick up the last one. It's all down to Max 1v4 here. Got to only 28 HP, and make that actually 0 as Poison finishes him off. That's going to be the first round on the board for Texas All-Stars. And the money is not looking nearly as good as I was predicting.
And that's just a really good individual play by Link. And we talk about how Isurus is in Pro League. Link is also in Pro League. I mean, he's definitely up there in terms of individual players. And just like that, makes a very good individual play. Gets 2, doesn't even get traded, and breaks Isurus' economy.
Absolutely. I mean, that Pro League experience is definitely going to factor in here. We saw Link and his team, Denial Esports, actually face off against Isurus recently, which I'm not exactly sure how the results went, but that experience and that information alone definitely should help them out in these rounds to come. Look at this boost, though, over on Long Doors.
Right.
Max over the smoke. Sinister will take him out through the door. It's going to be 1 down for Isurus.
And it looks like 1962 is going to burn down, but not before taking out Rizzy. And that was an interesting engagement by Rizzy there to like take the fight on top of the guy with a molly. But the T's are going to make their way onto the bomb site.
Bomb will go down for the T squad, but look at this. Sinister is actually still in pit with the AUG. He could find Reversive on the A bomb site Link and Poison pushing up the ramp with mollies in hand, and a flash goes out. Myron's gonna have to retreat from the angle. Will take out Link, and that's gonna be 3 down and make it 4. That's gonna be a very, very quick shutdown of the retake for the T side, and they're just trading rounds at this point. Economy's not gonna be great on the CT side this time, and here come the pistols.
That's actually so clutch from Messi. He got mollied out cat, so he made the conscious decision immediately to push mid, where he knew that he'd have to cut off at least one rotate in a 3v4 with no armor, and he gets 2 kills out of that, and that's just fantastic play. I think a lot of other players would just kind of sit cat and just stare at the molly, and he just makes the proactive play and wins them the round. Like I said, Messi, who's Noxy.
The rush coming in. Reverse if able to somehow live. The molly goes down, and they're not going to chase through. Link will chase through, but Punkville finishes him off. That's going to be now a 4v4, but a bit of a futile effort. The bomb is still in T-spawn, though.
Doesn't look like they're going to be able to cut off the bomb anytime soon, but Poison does get the AUG, so that's a nice silver lining to the round.
Oh my gosh, look at all the damage done to 1962 just from P250 at range. It just shows how useless the Galil is.
Yeah, essentially. It's just basically a worse P250 if you think about it.
Exactly. Bomb will go down for the T side. Myron will pick up the first frag in a while, and a second one. Rizzy and Sinister both go down. It's going to be Punkville and Poison on 4. They're just going to opt to save the AUG and the P250.
Right. I think good damage to get that AUG out of Reversive's hands, and overall, I don't think either of these teams really minds how the outcome is. But Texas All-Stars, they are looking down the barrel of a 1-4 deficit, so hopefully they can make some adjustments in this round that could possibly give them the round against Isurus. I think their aggressive play towards Cad that netted him the first round, that was a right start, and already we have a pause, and it's good to see a team finally utilize the pauses, especially in the last best of 3 where both teams chose not to pause.
Absolutely. I think we might have seen one pause come out in the last best of 3, if I'm not mistaken. But these pauses definitely will be doing a lot to shut down the momentum that Isurus Gaming builds on their T side and kind of mentally reset. But doesn't look like that joyous mindset is going to be easy to clear as you see the smile on all the players' faces.
Right. It's actually a technical pause.
Oh, okay.
But more on that, the like momentum with like them smiling. I've seen teams that smile in the beginning, and next thing you know, they're yelling at each other. You just got to get some good rounds, and all of a sudden, I don't think a team like Isurus is obviously gonna tilt, but you got to start somewhere, right?
Absolutely. Look at this, 3 people out long doors. One player actually over towards the B-bomb site, and Link has pushed up all the way to the barrels in mid.
I think Reversive might have seen him.
I think, yeah, Myron definitely was at least expecting it. Goes down to 3 HP, but will pick up the kill.
Right.
4-on-5 situation in favor of the T's.
Link had a really good play there, but I think it was just he had an unfortunate timing where Myron did see, I think, his gun stick out. So, and Rizzy might get caught out here. This is a unfavorable duel because there's still a guy in pit, even if he does win that duel. And overall, that's just a free kill for Reversive. And the T's have a lot of rain. You can see the discipline on them.
Absolutely. I mean, that experience comes into factor here. I was mentioning the great fundamentals from every single player on Texas All-Stars, but they're kind of proving me wrong here. They're definitely not showing the kind of reserve that I was expecting from them.
So, like, earlier in the last best of 3, I talked about how the slow default, it was cool to see them being meticulous, but at the same time I talked about how little map presence is coming as they're coming onto the site. Blackula gets 1. Does he get a second? He does, but he gets traded. And it looks like the 2 CTs aren't anywhere near the bomb site, so looking like a save, and if even that, Punkville does get the kill onto Max, so now it's a 1v2 with only 5 HP.
Yeah, this is not looking favorable for the Texas All-Stars. Unless Punkville pulls out an absolute miracle, it's going to be 1-5 here in favor of Isurus Gaming. Messi or Noxy holding the angle with the op is going to basically shut down any possibility of that happening.
And he's going to opt to not go for it. Makes sense. I think that round actually, it was interesting to see the aggression from Linkazoid. And like I was saying earlier, in the last best of 3, I talked about how Hippo Squadron, they were very passive in their defaults and they were very meticulous. Isurus is more or less doing the same thing, but the one detail you'll notice is how much map control they have with like all of this time on the clock, and I think that's the main distinction. Isurus knows how to clear these angles as efficiently as possible and get map control. They're still playing slow and methodical, but it's just more polished, and I think it's a lot more analytical as opposed to how Hippo Squadron did it.
No, absolutely, and you know what I actually really love from Isurus is just the respect that they're showing all the Texas All-Stars players.
Poison missing the shot. He does get it eventually, but not without a trade. Linkazoid is going to pick that up, though. So
speaking of respect, that was just absolutely disrespectful from Poison, just kind of shutting them down instantly. But yeah, like I was saying, Isurus just opting not to chase eco frags or anything like that.
Rizzy getting caught out with a B scrim from Isurus. Linkazoid is going to trade one over, but it is a 3v3 retake situation on the B-bomb site. The absolute hardest to retake site in all of Counter-Strike. Punkville has his attempt, but not quite hitting the mark. Next, Sinister is going to try from the tunnels. As Linkazoid does spam. He doesn't. That was a great flick by 1962. I thought he had that dead to rights, and Linkazoid is going to get chased from the lower player. 1962, he sees him. Can he get him? Oh, nice shot by 1962.
And I was expecting them to hear each other, but then I totally forgot. I mean, in an environment like this with all the sound and everything like that, it could be a little bit hard at times to hear the footsteps. Definitely played into account there. I think in a completely quiet setting, they probably would have heard each other. But going into round 8 here, we've got both the ops towards mid doors on either side.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Linkazoid. Or Poison. Myron's already out mid.
Is that a boost?
That's actually wild how fast they got that map control. But Rizzy does get a kill onto Max, shutting down the long aggression.
And no trade. The flash does come out to possibly give the illusion of a cross back towards A, but Rizzy actually going to opt to stay into pit. The double rotation comes out from the boys on the A bomb site. Sorry, a single rotation as Link goes down, but Poison can trade him out. Messi does fall to the op Poison. It's going to be a 3v4 situation now in favor of the CTs. Will Poison find another onto the likes of 1962? Just hide behind the box here. Will not, but Rizzy will. That's going to be a 4v2 now. The dink comes in, and the follow-up shot from Punkville. Myron down, and it's all to reversive in 1v4 situation. Will find one, down to 3 for the CT squad.
The
bomb.
The CTs can't afford to peek as much as they'd like to. I mean, it's a good position, all things considered, and overall, Sinister does get the kill, but not a good economy from the CT side, all things considered. But
they will be able to get a full buy here, which is definitely good for them. But looking forward, even if they do win this round, it's going to be really, really tough if a couple players go down to keep this economic momentum up, like Isurus had in the beginning of the game.
If All-Stars wins this round, I think they have a very good chance of making it basically cutting the lead down by a significant amount, maybe even taking it later in the half, depending on how the gun rounds go. But
Totally
this
agree.
is a huge momentum round right now.
Looks like we will see a boost onto the blue box. Uncommon, but could be effective if we see the T's rotate off of the position that they're at right here. Link holding close on the fire. The nade will come through, down to 42 HP. Reverse it goes. The shots spam through the smoke as Link fires his gun. Punkville will find one. Reverse of it. 1962 will trade him out, and Link will actually follow up with a kill right through that smoke. Does he know that there's another player right behind him? It's going to be down to a 2v2.
It's actually weird how it ended up like that. There were 3 people on the bomb site, and they were just spamming through smokes half the time. But 2v2, Messi on 4 HP, but he does have the op, so he does get taken out immediately, though. Blackula is so blind, and Max knows where he is.
There
he
he
gets a kill,
is.
though. Great clutch
Look
by
at
him,
that.
and what an important round to win, too.
And he will have the kit as well. We'll find the op.
Right, he's got plenty of time. So that's going to be the 3rd round for Texas All-Stars, and that's going to put Isurus on what should be an eco.
Looks like our observers are definitely having a little bit of fun there with the camera work.
Right. You saw a little bit of cheering earlier when Sinister got that clutch. They're actually forcing here, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think that Isurus knows of the economy of Texas All-Stars, and given they do have 3 AKs and a decent amount of utility, it might be worth the risk to force up and break that economy once again. Poison, though, will shut down any sort of hope that they have with a double now.
Right. I think this was actually a misread of the economy because we have 4 AUGs out and not a single gun that's like worse than an AUG, but Myron.
Oh man, that double headshot on a Link and Poison will drop down the Opper that has 3 kills already in the round, and Rizzy and Sinister, the only 2 players left for the CT side, actually barely have any utility. They have smoke flash, nade, and really not much in the likes of a decoy. Rizzy will fall off the angle as he makes first contact and second contact as well.
Rizzy's got a lot to do here, but he's just drawing time right now, and that is so risky, but I love the idea by Myron. It doesn't pay off, but man, that's a ballsy play.
Yeah,
I respect it.
That's the kind of play you definitely will see from a team that is boot camping here in NA. They'll pick that kind of play up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if it worked, he looks like a genius, and you know.
And you can't question a genius.
Right, exactly. Speaking of genius, it looks like another force spy coming out from Isurus. We like to pride them in being very cautious and very respectful of all their opponents, but this is a little bit of. I feel like
it's a bit out of character for them, and definitely.
I feel like this is just them trying to show off their dominance essentially, and try to show that they are the better team, but at the same time, it's really backfired on them. They've already lost Noxy, and they just lost 1962. And the CTs are gonna be able to back off successfully, so it's gonna be a 2v5 retake, and Rizzy is straight on the bomb planter. The bomb does go down, but it's still a 4v1. Myron's gonna have to come up huge. Does he get one? He doesn't. Poison with a great shot. And that's going to be the 5th round for Texas All-Stars.
You know, we were talking about this off camera, but Poison is one of those momentum-based players. We saw him get, 3 the last round and 3 this round. And when he's feeling it, when he's on fire, he will control the game. And, I mean, let's actually hope we see that, because it's definitely really exciting to watch Poison when he's on fire. Already 11 kills for this Texas All-Stars player.
And the last time these two teams faced against each other, the core lineups, Poison actually wasn't on that team. So
You're
maybe
totally right. It was instead of Poison, it was Rax. Rax was playing in the 3rd qualifier, and looks like Poison was picked up for the 4th one, which put them through.
Right, and not to take anything away from Rax, he played well, but Poison is putting up a clinic right now.
No doubt, no doubt. Look at this from the T's. They're just grouping up mid, waiting for any sort of push. That's the kind of respectful, fundamental play that we were talking about earlier. Other than 1962 making a lot of noise, giving Link a lot of information here. The CTs don't have a whole lot.
Oof, Poison barely gets
shot.
away. And he gets a kill. Oh, Link is Zoid though.
Link with a failed spray down will get punished out by Max. And it's going to be a mid to B push from the T side. Punkville with 1, making it a 4v2. Punkville with a second one. Poison?
Poison? Poison? Well, it didn't really mean too much.
You put a scope on that CZ and he gets that kill, no doubt.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was just trying to. Oh, and Messi asked if he was Flash. Yeah, let's just. If I were Poison, I'd just be like, yeah, man, for sure, flashed. But look, Isurus is doing another. They've forced the last 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah, their economic decisions are definitely making me think that they underestimated a little bit of the Texas All-Stars team. Poison with failed shot will try to molly out 1962, but actually molly him in. The Galil-wielding terrorist is pushed up on the cat position.
The thing is, they have very limited utility, but on a map like Dust 2, I feel like they do at least have a game plan. I don't think it's just raw, just poor economic decisions. They definitely know what they're going to do with the limited amount of utility that they have. At the same time, I'd really like to see what they could do with a full util buy, or more importantly, an op on arguably one of the best op maps in the pool.
You're totally right. I mean, we've been able to see what Poison's doing with the scoped weapon. Actually, we might see another little highlight reel from him as the T's are pushing on the bomb site. Sinister will make first contact, reversive though, punishing him for it.
Sinister really needed to get that kill. And we were talking about the poor force buy, but if you look at the CT economy, and if they manage to eke out this round, it may just justify the decision.
Absolutely. I might eat my words if the CTs end up losing this, and they will. They will just opt to save this. They've got semi-weak economy on the likes of Punkville, Poison, Link, and arguably even Rizzy as well. They want to make sure the last 2 rounds of the half are viable to buy and everything like that. So they will opt to save the 3 guns.
Yeah, saving this round is huge. These are AUGs, so they're just a lot more, they're $150 more expensive than your M4s. You don't like to lose them, and it's the difference between
$200.
200?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm bad at math. So yeah, it's basically a flashbang, and it's like the difference between having one guy on a UMP versus having a guy with full utility and an AUG. So, and it looks like for firepower, you definitely give the edge to Texas All-Stars, all because of that big green gun with Poison.
Yeah, he's been able to show his dominance with that weapon a little bit later in the CT half, but looks like we might be able to see him shut down some sort of push at long. We've got 2 players on the T side trying to make a little bit of contact, clearing the car, but Sinister's holding from the site.
Aggressive cat by the CTs. I do like this in response to the long take, but Myron's going to be pretty wary of this, all things considered.
Yeah, I believe this might be at least the second, possibly even the third time we've seen this aggressive push on the cat position from Link. So looks like the T's actually might have read it. They're going to be pushing straight through long. Sinister will make first contact, but Max will actually finish him off. 1962 with a great headshot on a Rizzy. That would be the bomb going down. Myron, the lurker, will get lurked on. Punk filtrating him out. Link actually tapping away at 1962 does chip away his health to 0. But looks like these guns will be saved as we go into the final round of the half. Maybe? Link? Not quite taken down, but very, very close. 8 HP and barely able to get away.
And you see how effective the Galils are against CTs without head armor. It's just basically an AK, and the poor guy CT just gets shot right in the face. I think it's pretty cool that Isurus opts for some of these like weaker rifle buys with the Galils and the scouts and things like that, as opposed to just force buying just full AKs, even though they can.
One thing I do want to harp on, though, we saw so many rounds where Isurus Gaming just opted to save in pit and not really play super aggressive. definitely show a little bit more respect than they might want to. As soon as they started hunting for guns, I mean, they just get completely demolished from Link and his AUG in tunnels.
Yeah, Messi getting a really good tag through the wall there, and Punkville's now gonna have to do a lot with very little health. Poison, no op in his hands this round, so he's gonna opt for the M4, and it might force him to play more aggressive. This is I feel like Myron is definitely playing with fire, but speaking of playing with fire, Poison getting dropped down to 25 HP, and the Ts are doing a very good job pressuring. If you look at the utility of the CTs, there's just not a lot left. And the final smoke grenade on Rizzy, yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, and I mean, if you
along
look at the
with
players
Rizzy's
of the CT, there's not a lot left either.
And look at the utility from the T side. You've got 3 Molotovs, 5 flashbangs, a lot of them being used now. And Sinister, he's going to have a lot to do on this bomb site, and he's not going to be able to do much. It's just Punkville left, and they have a pretty good idea of where he is, and they clear him out. Just a fantastic use of utility. Like I said earlier, I wanted to see what Isurus could do with the full Molotovs, and they baited all of the CT utility without using a single Molotov, and that's actually really good play. But it's going to end 6-9. All things considered, very good half from both teams, I'd like to say.
Yeah, I think especially with D2 being such a high win rate for Isurus Gaming, Texas All-Stars definitely put up a fight, like a very, very strong one.
Yeah, and Dust2 was pretty T-sided, all things considered. You saw how they baited out the utility the way they did. CTs have to commit a lot of utility just to hold the Ts at bay, whereas the Ts, they don't really have to do that much. Granted, this is, with the AUGs and the long-range weaponry, it is kind of hard to peek into certain angles, but overall, I'd say the map is pretty T-sided. And for 6 rounds on the less favored side, I think that's always good, but we're off to the pistol round, and you see 2 nades on Rizzy, and he's going to be the utility guy. Messi's going to get some love through the door, but there's going to be more love in the tunnel as it is just a blender in there. But there are some frags back as I say that, Messi and Max are going to get their frags. Link is going to get another one.
Link will find the first one of his own, but it looks like he goes down. Max with a second kill of the round. Messi with their second kill of the round as well. Both players actually played very, very well that pistol round. I'm not exactly sure what Texas' plan was going into that bomb site. That looked definitely more of a pug strat than anything else. But let's hope we see something a little bit more interesting in the rounds to come. Maybe not this round, as they don't really have much utility, but oh, look at this. It's actually going to be a stack outside of long doors, maybe even waiting for a punish.
Yeah, I think Dust 2 in particular invites a lot of one-dimensional play because I think it's one of the few maps where you could actually do a rush. What a nade.
Oh my god. That nade is just detrimental, and he even follows it up with 2 more. 1962 with 3 in the round, and only 9 HP on Poison, 37 on Rizzy, and Glocks in hand.
I'm pretty sure he 100 to 0'd somebody with a nade. But
did he actually?
I think he did.
That is incredible, and Reversive with the UMP will finish off the rest. 1960. Oh,
314 damage.
The body shot, the dead body shot.
Yeah.
That's the kind of disrespect that we kind of like to see here in the Texas scene. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Let's be honest, though. If we were sitting in the same seat, we would put a whole clip into it.
Oh, absolutely. Like, no doubt.
So, Isurus is being quite respectful, only putting 1 USP bullet into the body.
They haven't been here for so long.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We'll give them a break. Once they're here for a little bit longer, they'll definitely put a whole Negev mag into them.
Right. But it looks like some aggression from the CT side, and
take a look at this. Link waiting for the peek from Myron. Won't be able to punish him, though. Reversive on the other side of the door as well. This is going to be a double stack mid.
Oh no, Link.
Won't be expecting it. Link goes down.
These are such simple but effective crossfires that I really like seeing. It's just you don't really when people think of like high-level play and think of like what they need to do to become like a fantastic team like Isurus, they just overcomplicate things. Isurus keeps it simple, just a really basic crossfire mid. They just put it in the right place. As I say that, though, Reversive does get traded, so it's not like Texas All-Stars are on the back foot on this round. They're pretty favored here, but as I say that...
Oh, no. Sinister with a team kill on a Punkville will actually shut down a lot of the aggression from the T's, but Poison might be able to find a little bit of redemption.
Oh, Rizzy's got the play here.
Squad.
Oh, no,
Rizzy gets turned on. 1962 takes him out. 2v3 situation now. T's go have the bomb down. Myron does take out Poison. All going to be down to Sinister. And 1v3 will find one head on the likes of Max, but won't be able to close it out. 1962 does tear him down with that AUG, and the bomb will be defused.
Listen, if you're going to shoot at 1962's back, you got to kill him. Like, if you give him a 0.1 second reaction time, he's just going to flick you off the planet. And just like that.
Yeah, as he did right there.
If that were me, I'd give Rizzy like 10 more bullets before he goes down, but you know, 1962, he's got that wrist, man.
Exactly.
Speaking of wrist, Messi. Ooh.
Link destroyed by Myron's op in the mid doors, and the aggression will continue. Messi will find another one onto the likes of Sinister. 1962 with that AUG at long. Nothing more iconic than that.
Okay, Isurus is actually feeling themselves now, and I like to see that. They know. I like the it's just so they know what they've done. Like let's be honest. If you're Messi, you don't need to go for those peaks. You don't need to kill a guy in T's spawn. But
Absolutely
if you
not.
can do it, why not do it? So
You're totally right. I mean, they, in response, look at that. They've bought 3 ops on the T side just in case he wants to try to go for it again. Look at that. I mean, just by using one eco round to disrespect the Texas All-Stars, they were able to, force out what is that, almost a little over $14,000 of economy.
3 ops on T side. I like the idea, and I like the change of pace, but it's all going to come down to execution, and this is so...
knows.
That's such a good nade.
Down to 48 HP now. Link will be annoyed, definitely.
Fortunately, he's got an op, so if there's any gun where I want to be like half HP, it's that gun. Reversive is in a really good spot. Yep, he just takes him out. And Messi chimes in for his own. Yeah, like I said, simple crossfires. We all know, like, cat crossfire, right? But it's just how do you hold on to it? How do you use it? Like, which round do you want to use it? And they use it in the right rounds. Like, that round, they got mollied off, and they still stayed in front of the molly. So, to be aggressive like that, it's just decision-making, and it takes a lot of risk, a lot of thinking, a lot of analytical strategy.
Exactly. I mean, I do want to highlight what happened in this round after this is over, but Max with the double poison will actually trade him out. And the 1v4, it's not going to look very fruitful as he doesn't have a single bit of utility left. All he has is the big green, and that does not look like it's going to stay in his hands for much longer as he gets taken down.
Messi is a little bit feeling himself a little bit too much. But if they can't punish Messi playing like that, then it's kind of just keep playing like that. Just be aggressive. These kills aren't like fundamental, but they're definitely doing a lot to the morale, I feel. Max actually gets tagged, and good shot by Rizzy. Let's see if they can convert that damage into something, though. And it looks like Myron's going to chime back in, but Rizzy's going to finish the job. It's just so aggressive by these guys, and Messi's still going for some more. He doesn't care. He'll do that play. Oh, my. And Max with a drive-by, and he gets to the last 2. It's 15-6, and just when we praised Texas All-Stars for a close half, this CT side is looking like a blowout.
It's not looking like a blowout. It absolutely is a blowout. They haven't won a single round on the T side. We saw a 9-6 CT half, and Isurus Gaming just stringing 6 rounds in a row, and we're sitting on map point for the first one. Messi with a great shot through mid, but Link's going to actually follow him up with a second scout headshot. This could be a little bit of a tide turner, and looks like Sinister is going to follow him up as well. It's going to be 2v4 situation in favor of the T's. Make that a
Link
1v4
with 3.
situation. Yeah, Link with the 3rd scout headshot. He is he's liking scoped weapons as well. Meyer going to be pressured towards off the angle, but Punkville will finish him off. That's going to be 7 rounds on the board. Just as we were talking about how they hadn't won a single round on T side, they just proved me wrong, especially with Link's triple scout headshot.
Right. If they're going to keep contesting mid like that, you do have to punish them eventually, right? Like, that's a T-sided angle, and sure, you don't have an op, but you can get a lot of damage done. Link shows us how good a scout is on Dust 2. Oh, what is this boost?
It's no longer a boost. It's definitely a graveyard there in the CT spawn. Poison will find Messi and definitely shut down any sort of counterplay that they were trying to do.
Very creative, though. I appreciate the thought.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah. And, you know, that'll work. It's just, I feel like Poison just hit a really good shot, and there's not much you can do about a flick like that, because I'm pretty sure he was aimed at the lower part. Oh, this is aggressive by the CTs.
Oh, look at all the pressure from all sides. Rizzy will find reversive, though, and that's actually a key factor to shut down that push as they were being pressured from both mid and cat. Don't want to crack under that kind of pressure. Myron, though, will down Punkville, and it's now a 2v3 situation for Map Point. 1962 does find the flank onto Link, and it's all up to Rizzy here with the op in hand. He knows that it's not looking good.
What a shot by 1962, and he's going to close out the map, 16-7.
Yeah, first map going to Isurus Gaming. Incredible performance from them. I mean, we saw at the very end the disrespect come out like we'd never really seen from them before, at least at this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a feeling Dust 2 was going to be Isurus kind of showing off their dominance a little bit, and just like I predicted, they did. But the next map is Inferno, and we actually think this is Texas All-Stars' best map by far. And
by far, yeah, absolutely.
And with the addition of Poison, I do feel like they can take the map off of Isurus and give us a very close best of 3. Isurus, obviously, they're going to play hard, they're going to play well, they're going to play fundamental, but I feel like Texas All-Stars still have some clutch within them to really bring it back.
No, yeah, I'm really excited to see if Texas is going to be able to pull this through. Especially, I mean, we saw really big blowouts from them on Inferno in past qualifiers. Especially performances from the likes of Link, Rizzy, even Poison as well can definitely control the map with the op. We're going to see if they can punish Isurus for their newfound aggression. So
Inferno, I know you talked a lot about Texas All-Stars and how they could get an upset on this map, but what is your prediction overall for this map?
I'm predicting 16-11.
16-11.
I know it's a bit of a wild prediction. I'm going to predict 16-11 in favor of Texas.
See, I'm going to go against you on the grain. I think what Isurus has showed us today is that they're not going to really be pushed over on any map, as a matter of fact. And I think like a lot of the things they've learned from this land, I think they've gotten better actually from like since the last time we saw them in the qualifier. I'm gonna go with a 16-10 in favor of Isurus.
All right, well.
Just so we can have like some sort of competition between us announcers.
Yeah,
you know?
fair enough.
I've got a team to root for. You've got a team to root for. You know.
I mean, I gotta root for the hometown. I mean, all these players, we've been seeing them play for years, and now here on the big stage against Pro League team.
I just love watching Isurus play. I just think they're hungrier. They're just, you know, it's just that type of Counter-Strike that I love to see. And it's
exactly.
To me, it's just I just enjoy that type of Counter-Strike.
A lot of younger players on Isurus as well. I mean, we see Texas All-Stars. Punkville, Rizzy, and Sinister all have been playing, God, long as I can remember. So the newer players definitely bring that hunger that you were definitely talking about.
Oh yeah, and if you wanna talk about pure raw mechanical talent, 1962. Noxy, all of these players, they have very good aim, and yeah, like at this level, there's not a single player in among the whole tournament that doesn't have good aim. But you have to look at sometimes just when 1962 you shoot 2 bullets, and if they don't hit his head, he's just gonna kill you. You just gotta look at that and just be like, well, he's probably pretty good mechanically, right?
Absolutely.
But we're actually quickly bringing up the second map, so
should be hopping in very, very shortly here. We see all the players getting their headsets back on, getting back into the game, and getting their mentality reset as we go to the second map of the best of 3 here in the grand finals of the Strike League LAN in Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, and one thing you're not going to see from these teams, especially through the team cams, is you're not going to see tilt. These two teams, they've been here before. They've won. Both of these teams have won LANs. Both of these teams are very experienced. Some of these teams have played Counter-Strike before Global Offensive was even a thing, so, or at least some of these players. So it's just really impressive.
I think there are only a couple players here that haven't been playing since 1.6. I think. Maybe Poison, maybe Link. I think those might be the only players. All these other players definitely very tenured, so they're not. I don't think that cracking under pressure is going to be a big thing for them to worry about in general.
Right. So the map 2 is Inferno. Don't go anywhere. We're about to get that match underway. So for the X factors on either team, we all know who we look towards, but who's going to have to actually have a fantastic game for the team to end up taking it for each side?
Well, I mean, I'm going to start out with my prediction first. I was saying there was actually a good possibility for the Texas All-Stars to take this, and I'm going to put not necessarily my money, but I'm gonna put myself on the line and say the Texas All-Stars are going to take it as long as we see a breakout performance from the likes of Link and also Rizzy. Rizzy on this map will play very phenomenally if he can channel that. So as long as those two players show up, those are going to be the key factors for Texas All-Stars.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the Rizzy pick. I think he has a very high ceiling, and he's shown it that he can hang with the best, and he can take over a game. We didn't quite see it from the last game, but that was a different map. It wasn't their map pick. I think Rizzy on Inferno is a completely different beast. On the side of Isurus Gaming, I'm actually going to go with Reversive, who he was showing things on Dust 2. He actually silently top fragged for a good part of the map, and I think fundamental players are what end up making you beat a team that you on paper should beat. So I think Reversive is going to be the X factor for Isurus Gaming, because we all know Noxy, we all know he's going to perform well. 1962 is also a fantastic player, but I feel like Reversive is just going to be the player that really brings it out.
No, absolutely. We should be hopping into the map very, very shortly. Looks like I think some players on Isurus might be taking a bit of a bathroom break or something. But I mean, look at this! Look at the smiles on all the couple of the Texas players. I mean, Link's ready to get into this map. Poison never smiles, so don't worry about that. We saw a little bit of a smirk come out from a couple other players, but they're ready to get this map going.
Yeah, I think Texas All-Stars, they're just gonna forget that map ever happened. It's Dust 2. I don't really know a lot of teams that could beat Isurus on Dust 2. Apparently not teams like Complexity, so they shouldn't feel too bad about that.
Yeah, I mean, we barely even touched on that, but Isurus just came off of a 2-1 win against Complexity in I can't remember if it was ESL, but it was a really, really big unpredicted win that showed how great they actually can be, especially on maps like Dust 2. So
I predicted it. I have faith in my boys. And Complexity's on a little bit of a downswing, so
looks like a couple of the Isurus players are back from their bathroom break, so
yep. But yeah, I think this event just really highlights the amount of talent that's kind of lurking in the scenes. For Isurus, I don't think that's as much the case because they're a pretty known team at this point. But for Texas All-Stars, you've got a lot of players that are tenured, are experienced, and like just are very skilled in general. And these are players that you might not see too often on a lot of without the help of these lands. You might not see them at all.
Oh yeah, and the craziest thing to think about is, I mean, they might be the Texas All-Stars, but there are so many other players of the same caliber, or even sometimes even better. They're just kind of lurking in the scene. So that's why I think these lands are incredible. It's just highlighting all the talent that is in the region here.
Right. I like, for example, from Hippo Squadron. These guys, when we looked at the roster, we all said that Prox and YKZ were going to be the ones carrying the roster. But last best of 3, Shooter, he's been fantastic all week. He's just been hitting all of his op shots. Just a really solid player. And Fohip, that guy was getting really good entries. And when we look towards Prox and YKZ, and they were still playing well, but it's just these are players that we didn't really highlight, and I felt like we didn't do them. We weren't doing them any favors by not telling them or by not bringing them up because they're very good players.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Shooter. I mean, just across the past 2 days, we've seen him destroy. Just even against us earlier in the qualifier, this man was unreal. Definitely living up to his name.
Right. Full disclosure, both me and Jackson on the analyst desk have lost to Hippo Squadron. So.
And Isurus, and I believe Texas All-Stars as well.
Oh, and I personally lost to One Goob, actually.
You lost your name to One Goob.
Well, I actually lost to them in the first qualifier. The way it went was Rampage went to my site and killed me. And I don't think there was much to it after that.
Yeah.
Occasionally they avoided me just to get me cold, and by the time I made contact, I just couldn't do anything. And it looks like we're about to go live.
Ooh, look at the banter. Easy from Link, he says, as we go into this Inferno match. He must have heard a little bit of the comms between games of us hyping him up.
Yeah, I expect Texas All-Stars to put a lot of fight on this map. But at the same time, I'm still going to go with my prediction because, you know, Isurus, they're getting tighter, they're getting more fundamental as we go along, so look at this.
The aggressive CT pistol from Isurus. Myron with 1, make it 2, and a third one. Can you believe it? This is the same dude that aced against MIBR the other day. He is just showing how dominant he is with the USP and Messi and Max to follow him up. That's going to be the first pistol round over to Isurus Gaming. And a flawless one at that.
You know, it's just when you have a roster just individually gifted, I don't really see any of these players really having a game where they just can't pop off, you know? Like, I could see Myron, Max, Reversive, 1962, and of course Messi. All of them play at such a high level.
Ooh,
speaking of high level, Poison hitting Messi right in the highest level, which is the head.
Poison showing how strong the Deagle really can be, even if it doesn't have a scope.
He was great on Dust too, man. Like, Poison's been playing great. And a 1-dig is just so satisfying. Looks like
nade is well satisfying. The nade's going to bring Punkville down to 75 HP since he doesn't have any armor. The smoke will come out, and this could actually maybe be an arch push if their read is good enough. Oh, Poison spamming through the smoke. Won't be able to find Reversive as he's just a little bit off his crosshair.
The T's definitely seem to have a game plan towards A, but it's going to be really tough once your utility fades, and it's going to be even tougher once Reversive kind of gives the okay for the CTs to stack. And Myron gets 1, he gets 2. Oh, he actually gets taken out. Poison really good with the Deagle, but it's not going to be enough. Max is going to close it out.
Max indeed will close it out. That's going to be 3 kills for him, 6 now for Myron as we go into the third round. Very, very impressive so far. And look at the economy on the T side. I mean, we saw a bit of a force last round, but Poison, after just only buying a Deagle last round, I believe, yeah, I think he did. I don't think he had armor. He was able to find another Deagle and Smoke, still have 3,000, and he's going to be able to buy full off next round as well. Oh, Rizzy, very, very low.
I think
down mid.
I think if you're a T right now and you see a CT peek mid with an MP9, you're thinking to yourself, you need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, Poison.
Poison has the antidote right there. He's just gonna shoot you in the face if you keep trying to disrespect this team. And yeah, they're gonna win the round, but I don't think Texas is too upset about how the last 2 rounds played out, especially the second round with Poison getting 2. And he's going to get that big green gun, and we all know what he can do with that. So this is a good showing. Poison versus Messi.
Looks like we won't have a whole lot of money left on the tees after they full buy here. And UMP, two UMPs actually left on the CT side. They're actually just saving up the budget buy from 1962 and Myron. Max really pushed up here on the banana position. Link will find him. Messi onto Sinister. A lot of damage done to Link. Naded out. He will go down. 1962 with the frag, but Poison's going to even out the scoreline. Going to be 3v3 here. Is 1962 trying to bait out a little bit of shots. Rizzy will find him though. Reversive trading him out. It's a 2v2 situation now. Myron only on a UMP here. Will try to rotate.
And I love the little detail that the T's displayed there. They heard the 2 shots of the UMP, and they immediately turned away because they know that he was baiting for a flash. It's just, if you're experienced, like, you just react to certain events in the game, and if you hear 2 shots from a UMP seemingly random right next to you, that means you're about to get flashed. So both of the T's, they turn around, and then they immediately refrag him.
Exactly. You're talking about experience. It's just the second nature, really, of knowing how the game is played and how they might even play it out. Oh no, look at this position from Myron. He actually knows exactly where both players is, so the rotation will be called out. He's going to catch Punkville off guard. That's going to be the bomb dropped in a 1v2 now for Poison.
He does get onto the site, and he does have a smoke he can play with. He actually doesn't know that there's nobody in pit, so Poison is going to have the up, and oh, he misses a shot, and he gets peeked by Reversive. Great shoulder peek from him. We talked about good shoulder peeks the last game, but I feel like it's very hard to kill an Opper shoulder peeking on land. It's just, it's very hard, yeah. I'm pretty salty about ops on land, though.
Hey, you know what? They cost $47.50 for a reason.
Yeah. I just don't like dying before I see people, you know? But
just shoot him in the head.
yeah, actually, the one thing I do like about land is if an op re-peeks you, you can just shoot him in the face.
Exactly.
So that's the ultimate equalizer. Just shoot him in the face.
Exactly, and that's how you win rounds. Speaking of shoot him in the face,
1962, he knows the strat. It's a good strat. Shoot him in the face.
Yeah, they might need to check the headphones and see if they could hear us, given them the strats of shooting faces.
Yeah, I'm like witnessing a little bit of tampering, especially with us involved. We're just giving away our strats. But
they learned that strat from playing against us.
Ooh, nice kill by Linkazoid, but that brings him down to 1 HP, and that's just gonna invite Messi to take him out.
Brings him down to 0 HP.
Right, Myron is he might look down. Oh, they're just gonna barely miss each other.
Oh no, it's like a long distance relationship, except very short distance, and it's gonna be ended with a headshot. Rissy taking out Myron. We'll have the bomb as well, and possibly even a free plant. Yeah, he's gonna get the bomb down here. He does still have a molly and 2 flashes. This actually has a chance to be a very, very good play.
Oh, Rizzy!
As long as he doesn't get shot in the head, but 1962 will shoot.
This is a wild game.
Oh, no.
No bueno.
Rizzy with the banter in chat.
Rizzy, kind of unfortunate timing on that jump, and for Messi, kind of unfortunate pushing into the fire, I guess.
Oh, look at this. Sinister, not even a single kill yet after 5 rounds. Let's hope that changes here for the boys from Texas.
All I'm saying is I once had 1 frag on Nuke, literally a day ago, so.
I don't remember. I don't think we talked about that one.
Oh, yeah.
Just like how Texas doesn't want to talk about this round. This will be a spray down from Reversive and Max. And it's all down to Poison. Will he pull off the 1v4? It will not look fruitful, and that's going to be 6 rounds in a row for Isurus Gaming. And 3,400.
See, that's just the beauty of it, right? Like, this isn't like, people run this on all levels of Counter-Strike, just a 3 banana aggression, but it's just the execution, how they do it, when they do it, like the read that they have. It's the difference between a pro league team and a regular team, let's say, open team that knows a little bit about the game, right?
You're right, yeah.
And I think the little things are what make this team as good as they are.
Ooh. Oh, look
And
at that. Sinister finally picking up a kill, and Rizzy as well. They will make it a 5-on-3 situation in favor of them, but map control is definitely not in their favor, as they're just now barely getting into the app's position, not even up in it.
You know, who cares about the little things when you've got a deagle, right? You just shoot them in the face. That's a pretty big deal. It looks like Texas was using our strat there. The old shoot them in the face. But there's going to be some aggression, and it's going to get traded, though, because shoot them in the face is the ultimate strat. 1962, he's going to get pressured. Great molly, though, and he's going to get one. Can he get more?
They're not going to be able to trade him out. The
right.
No armor on any of the T's will just force them away, and that's going to be a free kill on the who's that, Sinister?
Yeah. Right. That's just a great sense of timing by 1962. He knows that his teammate died around Boiler. He knows that they could come out halls at that timing. Does he know that he's about to get snuck up upon? And it looks like 1962, he's going to go for one. He misses the spray, though, but he eventually kills Poison. And, oh, 1 bullet.
He just got 2 kills with 2 bullets with the AK.
Imagine.
He had 3 bullets left when they were still in the site, and he chose to just tap away. And that 3v2 turns into a 1v2.
In 1962, he wants to end it, but a little overzealous.
Oh my gosh!
Messi.
No,
he goes
won't
for
be able to get it. No.
Yeah,
Punk
he knew
Phil.
the bomb was too far away, and he knew that he had to go for the kill. But you know who else knew? Messi. So he's just gonna run away.
That is so vital. I mean, being able to communicate in such a heated moment that they don't have the bomb and it's too far away for them to pick up and plant and make the split-second decision to run away around the corner. That is very, very impressive from the likes of Isurus Gaming.
And despite the 2 1Ds and despite some very early trades and some very early kills, it didn't really look like Isurus lost control of that round, all things considered. They look like they lost control of this one, though. As I say that, Max is going to get 2.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a 2v3. Make that a 1v3. It looks like they get some good looks into these rounds, but they just jumped the gun a little bit. That's a minute and 23 seconds left on the clock, and it's a 1v3 from what was a 4v2.
Yeah. I mean, we
4v3,
saw such honestly sloppy Counter-Strike that entire round. Messi going for the repeat and getting punished for it, and then even the low players just dry executing, running out a not the most optimal situation at all.
And the crazy thing is, the last time I saw a round like that, it was Texas All-Stars on the CT side against One Goob, and they were making them look like they were the headless chickens just running around, and even with man disadvantages, Linkazoid needed that kill a lot faster.
Hey, as long as he got the kill, that might be a little bit of an important factor in this round, especially with... Oh, I thought Myron was about to burn himself alive.
No, he was just getting the molly so he could burn himself alive later. And as much as I'd like to say this favors the T's because Myron is... Or, I guess Poison's low. Well, it's just equal numbers, and if you have, like, 2 men down early into the round, usually you favor the T's. But, like I said, I don't really favor them because Isurus has good utility, and Isurus is constantly proactive. So it's on the onus of the T's to figure out what Isurus is doing.
You say Isurus has good utility, but it looks like Texas actually has better utility left. Not necessarily better health, though, as Rizzy does get taken down to 0. And
There's
Sorry, Poison. No clip doesn't work.
There's a flank coming in here.
That will, though, shoot him in the head. That's definitely going to be a viable strategy here from Punkville.
Great attempt at bringing it back, but 1962, I think he caught wind of Poison right there, and with only 7 HP, this could be unfortunate. Yep. Good round by Isurus. We're gonna be needing to see something come out of Texas All-Stars. I know it's a little early, and I think 5 rounds on this map is good enough to basically even walk away with a pretty good scoreline, all things considered. But we need to start seeing wins fast.
Absolutely. With the type of guns and buys from the T side that we're seeing right now, it's looking less and less likely by the second. Max with a great headshot onto Rizzy, following it up with 3 more in 1962, stealing the ace away. I mean, eco frags for Max will put him over the top into 13 kills.
I don't think I've seen Isurus do... I don't think I've seen them play bracket the same way in all 10 of the rounds that they've won. They play it differently each time.
And that's one of the things that's definitely given them the advantage here. They're not staying predictable. They're just not adaptable, really. It's hard to adapt.
Rizzy hits a nice B-hop into a fat death. And Max is feeling himself. He's just going in.
Yeah, that Rizzy play definitely looked like something that I might do in a pug. But he gets punished for it because he is playing against a professional team. Myron as well will punish Poison, and it's all down to Link with half HP and no armor.
Right. I don't think you can compare a C+ pug to what these guys have to offer. So
Hey,
I'm just knocking
B.
you a little bit. B. You made it to B.
Oh my gosh.
Nice one, Arlen.
Link will find one under reversive as he picks up his second kill of the round. 1962 just trying to find the shoulder peek, baiting him out, and Link is going to get punished.
Oh,
no,
come on, okay. You know when you wanna BM so hard, but you kind of panic and you just are I don't know what to do with this guy. He gives me so many options. I guess I'll just shoot him. That's what Myron was thinking. He was like, I want to knife this guy, but he's a little far away. I want to do something funny. I want to sneak up on him, but he's under me.
He had the option of doing the whole Assassin's Creed type, right?
Yeah, I guess. But in the end, he was just like, I guess I'll kill you. And respectable.
Yeah, I mean that's what they've been doing for 11 rounds straight. And it's worked. So.
Yeah, shoot face. Make me IGL. I'm the new Sean Garris. Looks like a fast Halls play, and okay, the nade's there on time, but Linkazoid,
the shots, yeah, the shots are definitely on time. The CZ comes through.
Right, and another shot coming in, and that's going to be some guns for the T's to pick up. They've got 4 AKs. But
3 AKs now as Myron takes out 2 AKs now as Punkville goes down.
Oh no!
Sinister.
Sinister.
That type of spray is just not feasible to miss. Link will find a third for the round, and look at the health on the last 2 players.
Right.
They're going to be 19 and 5, but Link's health is going to be 0.
And Sinister wouldn't miss that on a lot of different circumstances. It was just, it's just unfortunate. It happens to everyone.
It happens to the best of us.
I've seen Kenny S.
I don't think I've seen Kenny S do that, but you know what? At these stakes right here, best of 3 against a professional team on a big stage. I mean, we've talked about the tenure, but we might have been wrong.
Oh, Link, please! Oh, he just missed it. Oh. Well,
he had the collateral set up. All he had to do was click, but yeah, I guess it was unbound, so unfortunate getting naded down and shot through the smoke. Oh, Messi with another one. We'll make it a 5v3 situation now. It's still in favor of the CT side. And Poison trying to punish some kind of aggressive play. Max will find Punkville and punish that little aggressive play into apps.
And this is just at a point where Isurus isn't punished for their aggressive plays. And if you can't punish a CT team that's hyper aggressive, then they're going to continue playing like this, and this is usually where you see one-sided maps like this. usually once the T side gets a read on the CT aggression, you can at least curb them to maybe stop pushing mid and maybe stop pushing alt. But in this round, it's just a lot harder. And he's getting knifed. Oh
Knife from
no!
Meyer. He finally finds it. He didn't find it from the balcony the earlier round, but will grab the $1,500 and run.
All right. Just because of that, I think I want Texas All-Stars to come back.
Just a little bit of revenge here from the local hometown team. Hey, it might be a 13-16.
If we have any,
it's possible.
If we have any Texas All-Stars fans right now, I think they need your energy. So Twitch chat, just go ham.
Just like Messi is on to Link, Ham will indeed go straight through the head of Link. And it's not looking good as early on the round. 4v5.
Oh, it's just such unrelenting regression. And it's like, it's based off the fact that they have a man advantage, right? Like, they see that they can use their utility to push even further. Look at this.
Yeah, this is, I mean, they just adapt so well. They know how to punish teams. They know how to exploit, the weaknesses of each team. And it's hard to predict. Oh, Sinister will trade out Rizzy, but 1962 Messi will find kills, and Max with the last one to close out that round. Now it's gonna be 14-0.
All right, Texas, please, like 1. I'm rooting for you guys. You only need 1 let's go to win a game. That's my theory. Linkazoid giving compliments to Latin America. They are some of the best. They produce some of the best Counter-Strike players. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, I absolutely agree. However, Poison might be producing some of the best kills in this round. He got a double right off the bat in 1962 and Myron, just there to back up your statement with kills of their own.
All right, if there's a round to win, it's got to be this one. Texas All-Stars, they've got it's rough on the utility, but they've got 3 players that are relatively high HP, and as opposed to Reversive in 1962, who are both low.
Look at this, though. Not a single of the T players have head armor. So, I mean, that M4 could just go straight into the bank account of CTs.
Right, and Sinister, he's about to make contact, and he's going to not be able to get it. He does get a lot of damage off, though, so all of these CTs are lit, but doesn't matter. No, 1962 says we're not losing a single round this half.
I want to see the ADR on 1962. This man has just been going off, especially across the entire finals. I think that would be a very incredible, interesting metric to see.
The crazy thing is, I don't think I can get like an MVP. Like, it's just different rounds from different players on Isurus. Like, we saw Myron; he's been having a fantastic map. I think he's top fragging, maybe.
No, that would be 1962 right now with 20 kills.
Okay.
Single half.
Well, you can see where I got confused because you've got 2 people on 18 frags. Max has been playing very well all throughout. Messi, he hasn't been having an amazing game, but I think that's just because,
he's definitely playing more of a support role. You can see right now he's got.
I wouldn't say that. He's been very aggressive.
Well, I'm saying support as in, making sure that he is traded out or something.
Let's just say every time he dies, his team gets a trade, so he's obviously doing something right.
Exactly.
Speaking of trades, Texas coming in fast, and they really want this round. It is a 3v3 after plan, a kit onto Punkville, but only 1 nade left, and it's an HE. And the T's have very good after plants. You've got 1962 and Kenny, Reversive and Graveyard, and Myron. He's going to just stick around and pit, but they're all coming from Moto, and this is going to be a hard retake for the CTs. As Reversive, he's going to take a little bit of a gander to see where he is, but 1962 is going to take him out. Linkazoid gets the trade, and it's a 2v1.
Punkville and Link will find kills, and look at this. It's going to be Myron and 1v2. Link
and they
will
did it!
Find the head They finally won a round. Take a look at that. I mean, they're jumping up and down. You can see it right there on the camera. Link is literally hugging his teammates, standing up.
And I think this is a moral victory for America. I think this is representative of American Counter-Strike. You might be better than us, but we'll fight tooth and nail.
We'll at least get one round.
And then I can go up to Isurus and just be like, hey, you didn't 16-0. You lost a fan. I'm kidding. I'll say fan.
Take a look at this T aggression, though. Straight into abs they go, and not a single player actually contesting abs.
And I'd like to see Texas All-Stars really double their rounds here because, you know, they're just a representative of the whole LAN center. There's going to be a trade, but Linkazoid and Poison are the ones who open up the round, getting one apiece. Poison is going to be pushing towards reverse. If he sees him and he gets the kill, it's going to be a 3v3, but the health bar is looking a lot better for the CT side. And good push by Sinister on the molly to know that there is a guy low right next to the barrel. Myron is going to try to get him, but it is a 2v3. And
yeah,
some...
I was going to say, it's super interesting how they actually ended up losing this. They didn't play a single player bracket, and they just lost. They lost the bomb site. 1962 will find one of his own. It's now all going to be down to Myron in the 1v2 map point. Will find one onto Sinister. It's going to be him versus Punkville, the ex-Source Pro. Will he find the low HP player? He will with the one tap, and that's going to be it. That's going to be your grand finals winner, Isurus Gaming. Congratulations to them as they 16-1 Texas All-Stars.
Yeah, give it up to Texas All-Stars. They played well, but Isurus I just love watching these guys play. It's just really fun to watch how they play Counter-Strike.
It's just so adaptive. I mean, really, what can you do if you're a team like Texas All-Stars that has, I mean, they've got great fundamentals and everything like that, and they play very, very structured CS. What are you gonna do against people that you can't predict?
Right. Overall, I'd like to say I was right in my prediction and you were wrong. I'd say Isurus with 2-0. So.
Well, listen. I mean, a broken clock is definitely right twice a day. So I'll give it to you here.
Okay.
Next time we're casting together, I'm definitely gonna be right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Isurus playing well throughout the whole event. Definitely not really a surprise that they would win that in the fashion that they did. Texas All-Stars put up a really good fight on Dust 2, and I think if this were a different day, they could probably maybe get a win on Inferno, but today just wasn't that day. It's just about who shows up on that day, and Isurus definitely showed up.
I totally agree. I mean,
who would you give the MVP of the tournament to, though? Like the whole tournament?
I think, honestly, at the end of the day, my pick would be 1962. I think his nades on D2 were incredible, and he was able to just put down so much support for the rest of his team on D2, and then you saw on Inferno just how effective he was.
Yeah, I would give it to 1962 also. I think it's just he's been playing well throughout the whole event. I think in the earlier qualifiers, it was definitely Noxy who was dominant, and he was dominant on Dust. And you know, just because you take a seat back and you like kind of cruise on a map where you 16-1 them, I don't think that's like necessarily as indicative of their skill level. But I want to say 1962, he was just playing consistent throughout the event, and he was a big part of how that win was, right? So we're going to send it back to Jordan on the main stage, and that's going to be all from us.
Yep. I mean, I've been your caster, Rline. You can follow me on Twitter down right below, R_line_CS. I've been here with one goob.
Oh, I just don't have a Twitter. I'm just a random goob that they found on the street.
Just a random goob. Well, that's going to be all from us.
I've got nothing to plug, so.
Take it away, Jordan.
All right, everyone. What a great grand finals that was. Texas All-Stars putting up a fight, but it came out on top as Isurus Gaming took it 2-0. Congrats to you guys. Going into that first map, you guys gave up 6 rounds. What was going on there? Because after that, it was just a straight, you know, you guys playing really hard all your games. So can you come run me through that first map?
The first map, we were a bit sloppy on the beginning. unfortunately, we got like 6 rounds against, but then after that, we could manage to close it out. So
That's good. That's good. So when you guys got into the second map, is that your guys' top map, would you say? Inferno?
Inferno is not actually right now, but CD side we're improving, so we got us really strong CD side today.
That's awesome. Congratulations to these guys. Let's go ahead and grab your medals up here. Come on over. Grab your medals. Hold them up. Oh, Season 1 winners right here of the Strike League Finals at Arlington Esports Stadium. Give them another round of applause. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming out. We're going to be live again tomorrow for League of Legends and Super Smash Bros. So stay tuned tomorrow. It's going to start at 1 p.m. Central. You guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.